We're
go.
good to
You can
start.
go.
Hi guys, I guess we are live right now. Hi everyone, my name is Adeyemi. I'll be our host for today. So today we will be having none other than in the Azure team, Katri John. For a start, let me introduce who Katri John is. Katri John is a seasoned DevOps and platform engineer with years of hands-on experience designing, deploying, and maintaining cloud-native infrastructure. She's also a Microsoft certified trainer and a cloud support engineer. Today, she will be taking us on develop a RAG-based solution with your own data using Azure Foundry, Azure AI Foundry. So I believe this particular topic it would relate more with um, uh, engineers that are more focused on creating relevant that are into data science and AI engineering, trying to work together, creating retrieval augmented generation system. So Petru will be joining us pretty soon to give us this amazing um, lecture to say. So, Kitri, please just let us know when you're ready. So you can start off. So, we welcome you as you come on live wherever you're joining us from. We welcome you awesomely. Let's just give Kitri a few minutes. I'm sure she's around. She's just trying to get things done. Yeah, Catherine, are you there?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you doing today, Catherine?
Can you see me as well?
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
How are you doing?
Sorry, let me get. Hi, guys. How are we doing today? Good to have you guys today. And how was our week? I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm glad to have you guys back here today on our second study series on Azure AI study series. So I'll be sharing my screen shortly. Please, you guys, let me know when you see my screen. Okay, guys. So once again, you're welcome to today's class, and I'm grateful to have you guys here with me on this topic. And today's topic is going to be deploy a RAG-based solution with your own data using Azure AI Foundry. So last week we discussed about AI and Azure Foundry, how we can use Azure Foundry to kind of like deploy our own model and play around. And today we're going to like talk more on using um RAG base to deploy our own model while we deploy our own model as we use Azure AI Foundry. So you might be kind of like, okay, a bit like, okay, what's this rage? Sorry about my pronunciation. I could pronounce it. Let me just to avoid mispronouncing it, let me use those RHA. So you are not like in case you're wondering, okay, what is RHA? What is RHA? So RHA is kind of like a common pattern you use like in your to grind your data when why there is a common pattern you use to grind your data. You don't want to like okay just get anyhow data. You want a grounded data, a data that's like a real source data, a data that you know you like you trust the source where this is coming from, not just any garbage you see in the internet you use. So this is where we kind of like use Reg or Raj. We use Raj now. This is where Raj comes in. Raj provides us the support of using our adding data, creating indexes. So with your Raj, you're able to create your own. You add your data, and you can equally get your data. You get like the data you're getting. You know that this is well grounded. You're not just getting any data from the internet. So we're going to like go further to like how to show you how we can get a well grounded data to use with Reg. So just like in summary of what I'm saying, that Raj kind of help us to to get an AI solution grounded prompt. So when you're talking about like a grounded language or grounded model is like you're sure of that data, you know the source of your data. You're not just getting any data that you you see from the internet. It is well grounded, like you know where this is coming from, you know the facts, you know the like you trust the data. So this is the example of an ungrounded data and an example of a grounded data. So for ungrounded data, you can see from, okay, let's look at um let's look at the picture here. What product should you use to do an X? You're thinking of, okay, what product you use to do an X. Probably you want to develop something now. Okay, you want to like, oh, you want to develop like a chatbot, like where you want people to always come and express how they feel every day. Like, yeah, probably at every day before they end their day, they could like express how they feel every day. And you're not wondering, okay, where do I even get this data from? You might be wondering, where do you actually get the data from? So you're wondering, that is where it comes from. What product should you use to do your X? And origin train, like, where do you get the data? Is data well trained? And is it kind of grammatically correct? So you have, when it comes to ungrounded data, you have a lot of questionings to do, like how you get worried of how do you get your data, and how do you source for your data. But grounded data, you know that, okay, this thing is there, is here. You can even reference the grounded data. The accuracy is there, and you can reference the grounded data. You know the source of where this data is coming from, so you trust this data. But on grounded data, there's no way you can trust it. Even the information you're giving, sometimes with an ungrounded data, you might end up misinforming people. You might bring an information that's is not correct because you're having ungrounded data. But if you use a grounded data, you can see what product should you use. You're asking that question. Maybe when you want to start, what product should you use? You know that you have a contextualized response. You know that, okay, based on what you're developing, based on the model, you know what you have. You know the response you're going to get because you already have a source data and accurate, trustworthy data that you can use for your model. So why we're talking about Raj today is because we just want to ensure, why we are trying to um, um, deploy our model, we're trying to create our charts or whatever we're trying to do, we need to like ensure the data, because sometimes if we use an ungrounded data misinformation, we might end up like being sold for information that is not correct, and no one wants to get information that is not correct. Like, okay, I got this. Most times, even when you argue or when you do things, you always need to like back up your claim. Oh, okay, you know this. Okay, what's your claim? Who made a research on this? Where do you get? Where is your fact and all that? So using a grander, using Raj, with Raj you are sure, you're sure and secure. You have the trust. That's the source is trustworthy. You know you're pulling data from a particular place that you trust, and you can validate the data you're working with. It's not just a data that has no reference, a data that you don't know where it's coming from. So here we're just trying to tell you that as a developer, or any whether it being a developer, whether you're an AI person, wherever, a software engineer, wherever, whoever you are, the first thing to put in mind when you're trying to create your model, when you're trying to bring up a model, when you're trying to like, okay, develop your own, create your own data and everything, the first thing you should be concerned about is your source. How well is your source grounded? How well? So this is where RAG comes from. With RAG, you're kind of secure, that you're kind of, yeah, you have this integrity, this security, that, or this relief, you have this relief that the data you are injecting, the data you have, it's data you want to populate on the data you're giving now, you know that it is factual, it's a factual based data. The knowledge is there, like you know this data. Not just you can only confirm the data, at least generally when you ask this, when you ask for this particular question, maybe what you are doing, probably maybe if it's a knowledge base, the question you are asking is it's generic everywhere. It's not like, oh, today you get you maybe if you create a chatbot, or let's you create like a chat GTP now, and you bring up your own chat GTP, chat GPT, and if you query it, what you with the data you have that you injected into it, if you query it, it should give you a well-grounded information. You should be sure of this information. It's not like when you query it, it gives you a random information. So nobody will want to, if you create, let's say for example now, if DeepSeek is giving a random information, the data that it has been trained is not well grounded. Nobody will want to like, they want to abandon. I beg this. They will want to abandon you. Like, no, I'm not. This guy is not correct. I'm not. I don't think I want to waste my time using that particular AI. So what we're trying to say, as you're trying to bring up your own, develop your own chatbot, develop your AI in your AI journey, we're trying to like, okay, what you should bring when you're developing a model, when you're training a model, the model you're using, you should be sure of the data you're getting, that it is accurate. That's the most important thing. The data is accurate. So this is what brings this topic, this Raj. Raj ensures that when you use Raj, you're sure of your data, that it is kind of branded, it is trustworthy, your data is trustworthy, and there is integrity and trust for your data. What the knowledge you're getting, or whatever you're imputing, and you're getting from this particular chat or AI you're trying to use, you know that the solution you're getting, it's really what is not just for you alone. If it is generally what you get today is what you get tomorrow, except if there's an updated information, you know that if you query it, it gives you that. It might not give you the same answer, but there are keywords that must be there that it give you. If you create, let's say, an AI chatbot today, or just yes, say an AI chatbot today, and you give me the link and I try to use. If I query information, the same information you query, it should give me the same information. It might maybe kind of like redefine it, but we are expecting some kind of keywords that's which you're supposed to give, and we're supposed to know the reference where this information is coming from. If you in Nigeria, query use that link, and the information you're looking for, it should be the same information. And if I'm in Nigeria, I should be able to validate that the information I'm getting from you, from your application that you use, from your application you develop, should be the same information somebody in the US, in the UK should get. It's not like today it's saying that it's giving you false information, then next time it's giving, it should give a kind of trustworthy information. That's the essence. Accuracy is very important. So going to next this thing. So we're going to show you like a pattern of how you can use our Rach here. Number one, you have a user. So first of all, you have a user. Then you have like your vector, your base index. That's where your information is stored. Then you're going to like, the second one is your grounded prompts. So where your grounded prompt is. The third one is the model you're going to use. So for example, now if me and you want to deploy, like, okay, want to deploy like a related chat GPT today, First of all, before we start the deployment, we know that we should be aware of where our data is coming from. We should ensure that okay, this data we are not feeding the people with wrong information. So first of all, when you're using RAG, these are the flow. You have your user input. Your user input is called the vector base. So we're going to go through a demo for this class, and we're going to see how we bring our own data. And the data we're bringing, we compare the data with with chat GPT, and we'll ensure that okay, if we query like the same question, it should give us like the same answer. For example, if you're comparing like Grok, if you're comparing ChatGPT, you're comparing DeepSeek or Queen, those four AI. If you're comparing them, they are different. They are different names, but if you ask a question, it should give you like related answer. The explanation might be different, but you're expecting some keywords, you're expecting some trust, some that when you validate what you input there, you should expect that okay, this thing should give you almost the same kind of thing, like the same kind of answer. If it's a general stuff, maybe for example, after you deploy your model and you're asking who is the president of the United States, imagine your prompt is now giving you Tinubu. You should know that your information, your data source is not grounded at all, because it's the first information you're giving to the public. If you go through Grok, if you go through DeepSeek, if you go through ChatGPT, if you go through Queen, when you ask with the president of the United States, it's going to give you the same answer. It's just going to give you its Trump. It's going to give you Trump. It's going to give you the same answer. It's not giving you like any wrong information. So that is the help of RAG. It has this grounded information that, and you're sure that okay, whatever you're getting, it's validated. You can trust the data that is injected into the data that is coming out, the information you're trying to get. When you query data, when you whatever you're getting, you have to. Most of us trust ChatGPT. Most of us trust all this AI out there, because we have validated over and over personally with different questions, with different with different approaches, and we can rely on it. We can make our research, we can do what we want to do. We can rely on ChatGPT to an extent. Okay, oh, I have tried ChatGPT, I've used it for a lot of things, and it gives me an accuracy. There's an accuracy in all this AI. So you have your inputs, you have this is yourself as a user, then this is the database where you can retrieve this your trustworthy grounded base data information you're going to put there. And for the arguments, your grounded prompts, when you input something, who is the president of the United States, let's say that's your prompt you give. Your prompt should give you the right answer. So first of all, you talk about the user, how you're going to retrieve your data, the prompt you're going to use, the model you're going to use. Are you using ChatGPT? Okay, what model are you using ChatGPT? Are you using Grok? Are you using DeepSeek? Whatever you're using, whatever model you're going to use, and the response. So that this is the flow when you're using retrieval-augmented generation. It give you user inputs, retrieve your grounded data based on the user inputs, based on what you input. Okay, based on your question. But irrespective of your question, it gives you a factual answer. It gives you the right answer. It gives you answer that is solid. Let me use the word solid, a trustworthy answer. then your model, then how it's going to generate your response to it. So this is just the flow for it. So now we're going to talk about how we use Reg with Azure OpenAI API. So first of all, we have index data. This index data is the data you have, the data you're going to impute that you query at the end of the day. And you have your Azure AI search. You need to connect your index data. You need to connect it to Azure AI search. So first of all, before you can use Raj, you have projects, and you need to create a project in your Azure AI Foundry. Of course, you know we're going to use Azure AI Foundry. So you have like your Azure AI Fund. You need to create a project. When you create a project, we have like a chat client. Then we have Azure Open AI. This is where you will use your Azure OpenAI. That's your Azure OpenAI. You get your model, then you kind of connect it to your Azure search. When you connect it, you can now validate what you have with what is out there. So we're going to do some practical regarding that. Let's quickly go to practical aspects before we come back to our quiz. So this practical aspect is going to take us like some time, like 45 minutes, but I believe it should be lesser than that. So if you have your question, um you can drop your question. Okay. So this is the exercise we're going to do. So tonight we promise you that, okay, come to this class and we'll teach you how you're going to generate your own app, your own API app that you can use. You can create when you create your own API app, you can generate your own data. So, and you kind of like, you generate your data that you know that is going to be a well-grounded data. So we're teaching you to use Reg to generate a well-grounded data for your app that you create for yourself. So we go through. I believe you guys can still see my screen. We'll go through this exercise. So we're going to create a generative AI app that uses our own data. So we're going to go to our Azure AI Foundry, where we develop our model and use our own data. I think, okay. I want to see where I am. I'm sorry. I would like to, let me reshare my slide. Let me share my, okay, just a minute, guys. So I will reshare my screen to know which of the screen we are using. Okay. So please let me know which of the screen people are seeing. Um, can you guys still see my screen? Hello.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so let me reshare. I want to be sure of the screen people are seeing. Okay, so we will go to AI Foundry. So oh my god, sorry. First of all, we're going to go to for us to develop our own application that uses RAG, we are going to go through Azure AI Foundry to create our application. So for us to create our application, we need to okay, hold on. I think I need to delete this one. So if you want to tag along, first of all, you need to have like an Azure account. So if you have an Azure account, you need to have a subscription in your Azure account. So if you for you to be able to tag along this today's live demo that we are going through. So first of all, I just want to like let me see. So Azure will not hide. Wait. So if you're looking at my AI Foundry before I have created my application. So this is my project. I created a project here and the project name is Money Back. This is the project I created. Then I have my index. So my index test is the information I'm going to use to train my model that I'm expecting my model to kind of give me an answer based on the information I've injected into it. I think I need to delete. So this is my AI. When you have your index, you need to have what is called your AI search. So this is my AI search for this. When the time I connect my AI search with my index, after having a project and having and having the AI hub. Okay, so let's go back to our Foundry and first of all, want to create a project. Let me delete this one I have here to avoid insufficient quota. Or before I create, so these are the things you will need. You need a storage account. You need your AI Foundry, like to create your project. You need AI search. Then this is it. Let me delete. We'll start afresh. Can somebody suggest name we would use for our project and our application? What name do you want your app you will create in this class to have? I can't see if you put any this in there. So before we go to our AI hub, our AI Foundry, we need to go to an AI hub to create our AI hub. So this was the one I have in the previous class. Let me delete it. Have we gotten a name for our project? This is the project. This is the AI hub. For our project and our hub, I think they should delete automatically. So once you come to your AI hub, the next thing you need to do is to create a project.
Yeah, I can suggest we name it Data House.
Okay, so let's go. We remember when you come here to create a project, this is the one we're using. We are to use AI hub resources. So we click on AI hub resources. This name it suggests we can just leave it. So we use data app. So data app is the name of our project. So what's going to be the name of our should I give it this? I hope it's going to work like this. Okay. Our hub should be what? Let me see. Creative hub. So this is going to take a while for it to get created. So while you're creating this, while we are creating this, when, like I said, if you want to follow along, you kind of have a subscription. The subscription will give you an access to be able to create this application we're about to create. And you can use, in terms of your region, you're advised to use like East US too. You know, it's not every region you can find Azure AI Foundry. Is there any question? Um,
None for
okay.
now. We don't have any question for now.
So the workflow for this application we are trying to create, first of all, well, we're going to create our AI hub. From our AI hub, we're going to deploy a model. So from deploying our model, we add our data to the project, which is like your index. Now you add it you have our data, you add our data to the project. When you add, that's the data you want to query now. You know, that's your source data. You have to add your source data into your project. Then after that, you now create an index for your data. After you create an index for your data, the next thing is to test your data. I play around with your data if what's after that we'll create a RAG client app. Sorry, this is taking a little bit time. I hope this thing is taking a little more time, guys. Sorry about that.
Little sis, plus 2 3.
Catherine, does this take this long?
Yeah, it does. That's why I say it's going to take like 45 minutes. Unfortunately, I've deleted the one I created before now. It does, and it's almost 6 o'clock. Well, this is just where
Yeah, that's uh,
it takes time. The rest doesn't take time. Okay, so we're almost there, guys. Okay, so the next thing we need to do now is to go to asset. That's my assets, and we need to go to model and endpoint. When we go to model and endpoint, we create click on deploy model. Based on the data we want to inject into this, we just pick a model and customize it. Let's pick 4 point chat GPT 4.0. Or we will leave it at global standard, and here we will customize it. So we're going to give it our own name. Remember, we're creating our own language model, so we'll give it a name called test embedding ada 002. That's going to be our name. Then we'll kind of go to customize it to how we want it. We want the model to have a default. Then remember, very be careful about this. We need to create an ES2 East US2 East US. I think by the time we just speak, there is no two. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, no quota here. So I can't create anything here. I don't have quota in these places. So let's just pick East US, because if your search, your AI search supposed to be in the same region with your model. So we're just going to leave it with this. We are not removing anything from here. Then our token, we'll leave it like this, just 50. We'll ensure that what we're creating is in the same region, East US. Yeah. Guys, sorry, we'll take like 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes of your time here. Okay, so we're going to do the same. Remember, we have created our own model. That's the name is this is the name. So we're going to go to create another one, which is Chat GPT 4. So you come to your left hand side and go to assets, my assets. When you my assets, click on model and endpoints. We'll create a new one again, which is going to be, so now we just pick Chat GPT 40, just 4. We're not changing the name because we're not customizing this, just the way it is. That is it. But we just need to ensure this is in the, let's check the overview that it's equally in East US with the same thing we have previously. You, let's just check customize. We're not doing anything here, but okay, very important. So we'll just look at this. We will not model version, leave it the way it is. Then connected AI hub. We like it to be connected to, where's the AI hub we created previously? We created an AI hub before now, but let's cancel it. So let me just go to overview. So okay, this is our overview. This is the project we have. We created a project. Then the next thing is to go and create a model. We need two model, our own customized model and so let's go to create our ChatGPT 4.0. So we have a lot of model here. You can see DeepSeek, you can see other model. So our focus is ChatGPT 4.0. Okay, so let's use this. Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you, Catherine. It's 6 p.m.
Sure, just take
Um,
in the next
I
6:30 by 6:20 we should be done. Sorry.
you mean 6:20?
Yeah, so we deploy our model. Fail to deploy model insufficient. Oh my god. So we have insufficient quota to deploy this model because we try to deploy it, it says insufficient quota. Quota. I don't know how we're going to do this. And I have, we need to deploy too. So we're deploying We're deploying one custom made by us, and let me see, I have deleted the one I created. That's why I went to delete the one I previously created. So we will not have issue with quota. So the first one we have already, the first one we have already deleted, and we are not able to create um, this.
Yeah, I think you've exceeded the
Yeah, I
task.
have.
That's it.
But let me see if I can create. Probably is in that East US. Let me see if I can do that in another location.
Re-
That means I have to delete this because both of them have to be in the same place.
But would this mean that we will take another extra time to reload and all the time we took earlier?
That's true. Um, no, it will
I
not
don't
take
know
another
if
extra time.
I
Let's
can
just,
suggest.
it's not, we are not creating the project anymore. Or why you're saying that is because our
Okay.
project was actually based in that region. I guess what you're saying. Our project was based in that region. Mm, confirm. No quota in this, so we have to go to this one. And let's see if we can, let's reduce our quota. But the default quota we should is uh is 50 per minute. Let's do 25.
You mean the token?
Hmm?
I mean, you mean the token per
Yeah,
minute?
it's 50. So let's see by reducing this if it's going to let us create. So we know we successfully create this first one. It's when we are creating the second one that there was an issue, and I believe with the pre-installed one, we wouldn't. We are not supposed to reduce the quota for this ChatGTP 4.0. This ChatGPT 4.0 is what we're doing. Okay. So this is probably East US. So we're going to see if it's going to allow us. It's not allowing us to the same issue. Fail to deploy GPT 4.0. So guys, what we actually wanted to do was to create a tool model, one for us, 1 hours. The our own model, customized model, we call it embedding model. So this embedding, why are we creating our own model? We are creating our own model to use like any other AI model. Like for example, the second one we want to create is ChatGPT 4.0. So when we create the ChatGPT 4.0, we can use it to like make it well grounded with hours. So hours, our response that we'll get is going to be like more factual, more. It's not just going to be contextual like that. It's just going to be like we're getting facts from what we have. We're not just getting a random information because we've embedded what we have with a grounded AI model, which is ChatGPT. So when people use ours, they'll get like when comparing ours with other well model that you know out there, you know that because our data was embedded with the grounded one, so it's going to give us predefined factual information instead of just giving us just anyhow information. I'm sorry that we're unable to create this. But after
Yeah, no problem. So, in a nutshell, it's more like we are using ours at the front end and using the chat GPT at the back end, right?
you can look at it that way. You can actually look at it that way.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Thank you for this amazing knowledge, Catherine. You've been of great help. Also, possibly if you can just do a short write up and share some documentation link where anybody interested can just go through and read about it and do more research because that's what we do as engineers, do more research and try to recreate. Thank you very much, Catherine. Do you still have anything to share before, because we are past our time already and we are just trying to round up at this point. Do you have any information you'd like to share in addition?
I don't know if we can try to like have a quiz. So let me just
Sorry, I didn't get that.
us doing like a quiz. But before then, let me summarize my thoughts. So when you're talking about grounded, like if your information is grounded, it's just like you using a contextualized prompt to ensure that your information, your response is really factual. So the contextualized prompt you are using is this arrow AG, this your RAG. Your RAG is already grounded. So you embed it with your own information. If you want to create, let's say you want to create an app, just like what we were doing before, what we wanted to do. When we create an app, we embed it with already known model like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and so that our own when you query information from ours, it's not just going to give you a scattered information, maybe a grammatical error information. It's fetching the data now. It's giving you a word contextualized prompt. So it's going to give you a well-grounded prompt, not just contextualized prompt. It's giving you a factual prompt. It's giving you like you trust the prompt you've been given to. You trust the prompt. It is as in it is well grounded. Like you know the facts of what you are. It's being backed up. You know the information is not just any stuff you just did getting, not just any answer you're getting. So our Raj always retrieve, just like that's why it's called a retrieval-augmentative generation. It's going to give you a well-grounded prompt. When you query it, it gives you a well-grounded prompt. You're not getting just any prompts out there. And why you're just like, okay, why you should use it? It's kind of, you can use it, you can combine it, like it's kind of a hybrid. You can switch from yours, you can combine it, you can use yours and use it. So well, that's one of the reason why you should use Raj. And it's well, the you kind of, you sure of the answers you're getting, that okay, well, these answers you're getting, it's not just hallucinating, it's not just giving you anyhow answer, it's giving you a reliable answer. So, and you might be thinking, okay, why you should use it? You should use it because it integrate platforms like, let's say, Azure AI. With it now, you can integrate your platform, you can integrate your application that you have built, and you can index your, that's your information. Now you index your information, it gives you a well-grounded prompt.
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine, for that amazing summary and enlightenment. So at this point, I don't think anybody have any questions so far because I've been looking through and could not see any questions so far. So in the absence of any questions, I think we should draw a curtain and possibly talk about what we would be doing next week. Next week we will be coming up stronger.
Yeah, so next week we have
And
another person that's going to take this class on another topic, guys. So we thank you guys for attending today's class. We'll see you to
okay,
next week.
next week. Thank you guys. Thank you, Catherine, for your amazing power of information. My name remains Adeyemi, and we'll be signing out now. Thank you for joining.